Okay. You just asked me what is this about, and then I pressed record. Hey everyone, welcome back. This should be the fourth session. You're the fourth lecture that I interview. Please welcome. Say your name.
Ray. Hi, I'm Ray.
Hey, so he's my vice dean, and you are teaching.
I don't know, I teach a lot of stuff. I teach directing mainly, devising, dramaturgy. I teach acting in my own time.
In your own time?
Yeah, I do workshops and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
I am
not in NAFA, right?
I mean, within NAFA, not at NAFA. I'm also an artist, and I have my little collective called Attempts, and we do.
Oh yeah, attempts.sg. Attempts.sg.
Attempts.sg. Oh, it's actually called Attempts. Just
on Instagram. I mean, on Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram it's Attempts.sg.
Attempts.sg. Okay,
yeah, that's right. Great.
Okay, so before I move on with anything, I want to ask you this first question. We talked about Oscars, and you said you don't really care about Oscars. Is it you never care about Oscars, or you used to care and then you don't care right now? Or?
Are you talking about the American Oscars?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's Americans, it's not ours. I mean, I don't give two hoots about it.
Damn.
Because it's for the American market. Like, no matter what international accolades that you achieve there, it's for the American audience. And it's a very white person, based organization. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that I don't look forward to it.
So you never did. You never cared.
No, I mean, it's so far away from me.
Oh, okay.
It's not something that I encourage anybody to go like, oh wow, Oscar is your aim, is your goal. You know, I don't think it should. And even people in America, I don't think that should be what you're aiming for.
Okay, that's a good start because you said goals. Okay, now. You wanted. I never. By the way, I never told him what the interview is about. So, this interview is about. Initially, is about balancing life as an artist and life as a teacher. Okay, and then as I formulate these questions, I find out that it's beyond that. It's more of a dream versus reality kind of thing, you know. So. As I already learned playwriting, I want to start with a bang. I want you to react to this sentence, okay? And this me not trying to, I keep saying this disclaimer, you know, if you watch from the beginning, you know, react to this sentence. Art teachers are failed artists.
I mean, I don't think there are a lot of very successful artists out there, even in the industry.
Okay.
And I also think that every artist is successful.
Oh.
And so it's a weird question for me because I don't see myself as an arts educator or an arts teacher. In Singapore, we are very multifaceted. That means you're an artist, at the same time you are a teacher, you share your knowledge, you share your skills, but you practice while you're doing it, and I think that's really important. So when you ask that question, my question for you is what's the context of it, right? Are you asking it from the point of commercial standpoint and financial standpoint? Because if you are talking about financial standpoint, which I think your question is geared towards, then there is there's a line of success versus failure.
Okay.
Right? Because your comparison is if you cannot earn enough money as an artist, that means you're a failed artist. That's why you come into education.
Okay.
Right? If you're not recognized enough, that's why you come and become, a teacher. And as they say, those who can't teach, right? But
Those who can't.
life is never that one
Black and
faceted, so shallow. It's multifaceted. It's never about just that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Art should not be weighed against how successful you are, right? Who to determine what success is. Oscars being the ultimate success. Earning a lot of money, meaning that's an ultimate success. Then if that's the case, then being a artist, actor in it's a success, isn't it? Because you earn a month, and is that success then?
I'm probably gonna cut this, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. Is that then success? Is it you are doing a lot of shows and you're successful? How about playwrights who write one play in 10 years?
Oh.
Then are they not successful? So it's very difficult to put a line.
Okay.
And everybody have to be abiding by that line, right?
And by the way, you see how a Weinstein approach an answer, right? He answers with questions. That's the fine line there.
I mean, what's important to you, right? Or I suppose to anyone who is watching this, right? If you want to be an artist, how do you gauge what is success or not? And ultimately, it's really up to you, right?
So it depends. It goes back to what's the definition of success for you.
Yeah, and Singapore is a sucky place, right? Because everything is about money, it's about GDP, it's about economics, it's about whether you can survive or not. I mean, your Singaporean students are they are suffering because the first question they ask before they come to school is, can I get a job next time? Even though they know when they come here, they want to be an actor. Which is so unrealistic, right? But they're always asking, if I don't act, what else can I do? Right? I'm like, you're like what, 19, 20? You're asking about what else can I do if I cannot act? Or if I don't have acting opportunities? I'm like, just go for it. People in America, people in Melbourne, people in Sydney, people in... They really put everything out there, They will work in Starbucks or in cafe for years, and so that they have a lot of opportunities to go for acting jobs or anything, or to do their own stuff, right? But our definition of success is being able to find enough jobs, get enough money, still give money to your parents. And then I'm like, unfortunately, doing art is somewhat for the privileged.
I keep advocating that if you're privileged enough, just do art, man.
No, exactly. If
to my rich friends.
Well, I wouldn't say rich friends. I would say if your parents are paying your bills and you don't have to, you're not burdened with rent, you're not burdened with utility bills, you're not burdened with your mobile bills, you can survive. Really, basically doing anything. You can work at McDonald's and survive and have a good life, You can still have your occasional Starbucks and still, you can have one or two acting jobs and still, I'm not saying that you have to be rich driving cars and your father gives you $1 million to do a show. I'm saying it is for the privilege, if you have to, privilege in the sense that if you're someone who has to take care of your whole family and the whole family's money and financial status has to be dependent on you, then this is going to be a very tough place for you to be in. And then this idea of success or not becomes more crucial for you.
When you mention privilege, I now don't really correlate privilege only in terms of financially, but also mentally. If you're equipped with the ability to hang on with what you already have right now and keep thriving to be what you want to be, that's also a privilege on itself.
Well, that's kind of a privilege, right? Because if you see, if you come from a good family, you basically have lesser mental burden. Whereas compared to, say, some of the students we have here, sometimes they're troubled families. They cannot concentrate when they're in class because they're just thinking about, am I safe when I go home?
Okay. So you talk about surviving, which leads me to my next point. What do you think is the fine line between fighting for your dreams? Because this is my concern as well. Like I'm afraid if I grow old and then I have things to regret.
YOLO, bro.
And that's why, okay, that's pretty straightforward answer, but I want you to further elaborate on that. Because what's the line between fighting for your dreams and, come on man, just be realistic, like what's that for you personally?
I feel there is a big problem now in the world, as in, or at least for a lot of young people I see, and the idea is, I will only fight for my dreams. Like, I need my dreams to be here, to be fulfilling in next year or the year after, or next day. I want to find my dream, and my dream appears, and I'm successful all of a sudden. I think that's a huge ask, right? You can. I strongly believe this. I believe that if you fight long enough, you will get whatever you want. It's just a matter of time, right? So there are people who can be struggling from, and there's nothing wrong with struggling, right? Struggling from their 20s to their 50s before they get a big break, right?
Henry Ford.
So you can, anybody can do that. Really, seriously, right? But if you're expecting yourself to get it tomorrow, if you're expecting yourself to get it next year, I'm going to give myself a 3-year timeline to get it. I'm like, 3 years will get you nowhere, bro.
Especially an actor.
A 3 year will get you nowhere, because some people get it, yes, in the instant, overnight. Some people get it in a very long time. So there isn't a formula to this, unfortunately. However, you need to have two things. First of all, your desire and your drive to constantly do and improve. You need to constantly improve yourself in order to increase your chance of it happening sooner than later. Right? And improve means a lot. Improve means skills, social skills, your artist skills, being not just only doing one thing, maybe doing a lot of things, right? Second, you need the ability to realize if you have what it takes.
If you have what it takes.
Right?
Okay.
So two things. You need to have drive to go forward and to improve. But you also need to be aware where you're at now and your capabilities and your limitations. So some people, you need to have that realization of, oh shit, I'm just not going to make it, right? Until a point when you go, I want it a lot, but maybe I'm not suited for it. It's contrasting, but it's important to have both of these elements. Yeah.
Okay. So are there times for you, because you started as an actor?
Actor, yeah.
Yes, and then you start taking teaching jobs, I presume?
Well, everybody in Singapore takes
Okay.
a teaching job.
Okay, so it's
here
already
and there.
part of your plan that you're gonna take teaching jobs.
Actually, it wasn't.
Ah.
I mean, when I studied theater, it was very based on performance, and when I came out, you see, the thing is, you learn acting through your body, through playing games, through doing exercises, and you learn the way that it is being taught, right? So it's different between the teacher telling you the formula for a math equation, and there's a lot behind that. But when you're an actor, you're basically really listening step by step what an actor teaches, what a teacher teaches you when you're acting. So I suppose it's a natural progression when you want to talk about your art more.
Okay, yeah, it's a medium.
Yeah. So I started out wanting to act, and then I did a lot of school shows, which is a natural progression for anyone. You do a lot of school shows because that's where.
As in you're
they
creating
pay.
shows for schools?
No, not at all. Like companies will hire actors to do school shows, and
Oh.
do crappy school shows for a long time. And you have to wake up like 6 o'clock and then do a school show at 7:20 assembly. Half the students are asleep.
Oh my God.
And you do some
I didn't know
corny
that's a
shows. Yeah, well, you're not. Yeah,
Okay.
you get a fair share.
Okay.
Until then, you realize that I don't want to be like really just depending on this. And then the next alternative is to do workshops, right? Drama workshops,
okay.
education workshops.
Which is paid. Paid workshop, right?
Yeah, paid
Okay,
workshops,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you get paid like from a range of 60 to 80 to 100 to $120 per hour for a workshop. And then you wanted something, and then you want something more stable. Then you start to get CCA. So CCA is extra curriculum, right? So CCA means you are hired for a longer period of time. You probably go down 2 weeks, 2 times in a week, and you get paid. So all these are done in the daytime, or you rehearse in the nighttime, or you rehearse in between.
Oh my God.
Or when there are rehearsals, you just go, oh sorry, I can't do this. I need to get someone to replace all my classes. Right? So, and then eventually you start to do more. And I started to do more. I started to do community theater education. I started to do more shows for youth. And when I work with actors, I started to work with actors rather than working with actors, right? And you're a teacher at the same time. During my time, not everybody's super trained. So when not everybody's super trained, there is a need to like make sure everybody's on the same level as we go along. So teaching comes naturally in that.
Okay. You're not the first to mention about teaching as something for you to sustain career as an art actor. It's kind of a regular, they say, a Hollywood success story where you go bartending and then working in a coffee shop, and then you rehearse in the middle of working, and somehow the success story in Singapore is like, okay, yeah, and then you teach, and then you do workshops, and then you perform 1 or 2, and then you do multiple production at a time. So it's kind of the summary for me.
But then again, like not all success story is like that, right? Look at CTK. I think CTK barely teaches, and she just like really get all her gigs from performance, acting shows, commercial shows, TV. There's another whole world which I am not able to be successful at because I don't like TV. I'm not a big fan of film.
You had an offer. Some offers.
I mean, to be honest, I have a lot of offers, but it doesn't excite me. I mean, it's because it's not in my comfort area.
Okay.
Right?
But you now had the liberty to choose, right? What kind of work you want to do?
I mean, ish. Not saying I have a lot of offers, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time I'm like busy. So when people like
Yes. I can
people call you and
keep
go like,
seeing Repo like 6 p.m. still running around from room to room. So yeah.
yeah, and people like call you and go like, hey, are you free to do this thing? And then eventually, if you say no too many times, they will start to like, he's busy.
Yeah. That being said, would you, if just playing ifs, if you had an offer that you always wanted to do, something that you always wanted to do, would you leave teaching?
Yeah, instantly.
That's a very instant answer.
Instantly.
Unlike other lecturers. Okay, why?
No, I have to clarify. Teaching is not it's not, and it should not be like
Torture.
add-on.
Okay.
Yeah, not an add-on, right? It's not. It's not like it's not working in Starbucks, right?
Yeah.
And it's different.
Okay.
And I think that's one thing maybe I think NAFA has, and a lot of my colleagues have, which I love about them, is that they are not just teachers, they're artists as well. So that comes hand in hand together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you definitely want teachers who are
Have something
out
to
there in the
offer.
industry
Yes.
and who have very good, who is well networked and who practices and who keeps up to date on the things that are happening, and that's important, right? So, and part of that is being,
And you're encouraging that as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think you're pushing all the lecturers. Hey, keep performing, keep doing stuff out there. Don't just teach, is it?
yeah. I
okay.
definitely. So when Wendy says she wants to do a show, I'm like, just go, you know. We'll work the timing out. Don't worry about that. We let's be a little bit more
Supportive
flexible.
boss.
No, because it's important, right?
Yeah.
We have teachers who I know of teachers who are happy being stagnant,
Okay.
and that's very dangerous, because how are you able to teach passionate students when you are not passionate, right? But of course, if you are passionate with teaching, I think that's a different thing. But you need to be passionate about teaching the art, which you should be also passionate about.
It's a good word. It's
Right?
a big word. Passion. Oh my God, it's already 21 minutes and okay. I want to move on from teaching and dreams and reality. I want to just talk about teaching itself. Have you watched Whiplash?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody keeps saying that the most memorable scene is the ending. Yes, of course, it's great, but my most memorable scene is the scene at the bar where the teacher met his former student, and he said very interesting stuff. I never regret for what I did.
Yep.
I will never apologize for the way I did things to my students, because I did that to make them be a better artist. And there are no two words more important than good job, said by a teacher to his students. I grew up from an acting school with a very demanding teacher, acting mentor, acting coach, and I'm forever grateful for that. That kind of approach, that kind of trait worked for me. And going back to NAFA, where I see the teachers teach and how my friends react to the way the teachers teach, I feel like that kind of tough love doesn't work anymore in my generations. I don't know, because I keep hearing that from you, not from you, no, from the other lecturers. They are made from that kind of system, the people that I really look up to. So how do you approach different students, and how would you react to hard times create strong men or people?
Sorry. I feel acting is this. Acting is not an art where you repeat the same thing every day, and then you make sure that your skill of doing that thing becomes better. So, for example, like dance, right? So if you're not getting the move, if you're not getting this move, and every day you're doing this, I can shout at you until you get it, right? And that's easy, because all I need to do is like, come on, what's this, hello, come on, no, it's supposed to be like this, right? But acting is not this, because acting needs you to be able to think for yourself as an actor. So it's much more tougher to be like it. So it no longer. So it doesn't mean we had a better time. It doesn't mean that we are better because of it.
As in your generation.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. It takes a lot of don't question, just do. Right, And when you do it, you either get it or you don't get it. There are a lot of a lot of irresponsible teachers who follow that kind of pedagogy and expect everybody to kowtow to them. You know, the power relationship it's far too imbalanced in that case, right? Of course, there are very good teachers who like, no, just don't ask, just do first. And when you do it, what do you think? Let me help you dissect this. This is what you felt. Correct? In this place, very good. Now, more. Then you're like, okay, I'm finding something, right? Whereas the every day kick until this one, up 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and it's such a different thing. When now it's even, I think it's much tougher to teach acting because you that doesn't work. Because you see out of 10 students from that teacher, you probably only see 1 student coming out and really realizing things on their own. So to be honest, I feel like I learned from my acting school, but most of my things that I actually learned is outside when I'm working in industry.
Okay.
When I'm creating work, when I'm talking to directors, when I'm talking to fellow actors, when I start to get interested in, hey, how do I get A and B to C? So that was important point of our lives as teachers, right? And that's where when we're coming here, that's why we don't go like, just do. It's about what do you think? Okay. Are you convinced? Because you're not convinced, let me try another way to see, okay, maybe tell me what's your way. Because, to be honest, I don't think you're that kind of student that if I take the cane and I ask you to do everything, you fight back, because I see you fight back. And I see you get angry.
Was I?
Yeah. When I was working with you and Heather, I see resistance.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. And if it's a traditional teacher, it'll be like, please put down your ego. Right? Why are you showing me this face? Put it outdoors, outside the door, come back in, and do what I tell you to do. Because directing can be like that, right? But I don't want my actors to be working under such a director. You can, when you go out, right? But more importantly, you need to be able to be empowered and to make that choice. So I say, you understand why this choice is being made. Try this again. How do you feel?
Okay.
Right? So I feel that's more important than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's somewhat a bit different when I came to NAFA, right? Like, everything is all about safe environment, safe,
yeah, that's so important, though.
Yeah, and yes. In a way, I agree, because not everyone can be approached in the same way, right? And it takes experience. I mean, I'm pretty sure you yourself as a teacher understand that not every student are suited with the same way of approaching to push them to be better.
I'm going to share something with you, right? Recently there's like someone from the industry posted a Judi Dench post talking about trigger warnings, and Judi Dench said,
I think you reposted it.
I reposted it as well.
Yes.
And then I have a lot of feelings about it, right? Because they're like, if you are, so afraid, or if you are so, scared of theatre, then you shouldn't be coming to theatre, you should be at home. And, by having too many trigger warnings, like, it dilutes. And for me, it's like, really? Like, what about your theatre that is so fragile that if you put a trigger warning, your show will fail? But I mean, of course, then I realized that they're not so much of a like, no, we cannot put trigger warning. It's just that like, why must we take care of all these people? They're fine. It's okay. That's okay. They're fine. And I think that comes with teaching as well, especially teaching acting. You don't understand because actors have to be vulnerable. And a lot of times actors are forced and squeeze their vulnerability out of themselves. Or either you get it or you don't. Right? People who can be vulnerable on stage, you know, they are being like, oh, your talent, you know, blah, 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 blah. But when you're not, then you're being whipped and you're being squeezed to be vulnerable, which is such a conflicting thing, because if I whip you, the less you're able to be vulnerable.
Wow.
If I go, what are you doing, Ray? Why are you saying this line in this way again? Come on, come on. And the more you say that, the more difficult it is for me to be vulnerable. Right? So
Therefore, we create a block for us not to open up, right?
Yeah, exactly. So acting is an art form that requires the actor and the body to be connected with the emotions. So emotionally and mentally, you have to be in a place where you can work in this place, right? If I train you for Olympics, right? And you're going to be a rock climber, right? Isn't it my duty to make sure that all your belays, all your lines, all your knots, all your equipment are tip-top? Right?
Yeah.
If you're going to be training as a track and field, I have to make sure all your shoes, your muscles, I have to massage you, right?
Yeah.
You see, your trainers, they massage the
yes,
right?
yes.
But acting teachers are like, why you need shoe? Don't wear the shoe. Just go, run, right? No, you don't need the line. What line is this? Don't use the line. This is more real. Just climb the rock, climb the cliff.
That's an interesting analogy that you use.
No, we have to give actors a safe space.
Yep.
And that is most important.
But are you, just to clarify, that means, are you against that kind of approach? Or
What kind of approach?
the kind of approach where you have to like, yeah, do better, yeah, like, you know?
So depending, right? That approach works under certain conditions. So I don't think teaching should be one way. As I taught you, right, as a director, you're not supposed to be just directing in one way from the top to the end, right? Sometimes I'm talking about pacing. Sometimes I see you getting something and it's there, and I need to match your energy, right? But I won't do things like take a cane and then say, again, do again. But I will go, okay, do you get it? Let's do again. Let's do this. Don't worry, let's do this until you cannot. Let's do it 10 more times. I will do that. But I just won't be nasty about it. There's no point being nasty about it. Unless I'm supposed to be nasty about it. Unless, say, for example, you're in a scene and you're supposed to get angry, but you can never get angry.
So not just the students itself, not just the person, but also the context. What is that something that you want to get out from this student?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes, yeah.
All right. Next thing would be you as a teacher again. I just keep having this kind of concern and thoughts whenever I started acting or art. This is a very good question. This especially because you're a biased in, right? Is art actually teachable?
Art teachable? Yeah, definitely.
So how do you differentiate that you like a student's work subjectively and objectively? Like especially in acting, right? Like how? Yeah, okay. This acting is. Yeah, I like your choice. I like this person's choice, and how? There's a purpose. I post this. I do this after the results are out, guys.
Yeah, are you happy with your results?
I'm. Okay. Since you asked that, because. Okay, you know what? I will elaborate on that later on. Okay. Just keep that in mind.
Okay. So what's the question again?
Art is actually simple. Is art?
I mean,
actually
look, if you're talking about art, that's one thing. If you're talking about acting, that's another thing. Okay.
Wow.
So
You can go another round of is acting
yeah, I
and
mean,
art.
I can take 2 hours talking about this, but I think first and foremost, I don't think we are all there. As in our students on diploma level, we are not there yet. That I can go. It's subjective. I don't think so. I think we are still at the level that is objective.
So it can escalate to a subjective level.
It can, right? So objectively means how good your techniques are, how loud you are, how much clarity you have, how you control your voice, how you express yourself physically, how much discipline and focus and control you have with your body. I think these are all objective stuff that can be quantified in a certain sense. I don't think a lot of students are there yet where we reach this subjective stage where it becomes interpretation of the character.
Okay.
Right? So even in even if I say, okay, so I'm going to take you for example, you're fantastic. I think your skills are great, right? As an actor. I think your physical skills are great. I think your vocal skills are great. I think if so there are different schools, right? So there are schools where if you want to be an actor, you must be able to have an English accent or do an American accent, you know, and have a certain vocal quality to it in order to be like, you know, but
good.
The other school is like, it's not about that, right? It's about being able to have clarity in your own locality. It means as a Singaporean, I must be able to at least within my region work on my speech, right? So in that sense, I think you're great.
Okay.
Right? If I were to judge you on being American, then you and we won't pass that well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So even me, right? Because I can't do American, right? And it takes a lot of work for me to go there, and it will take you a lot of work to go there. Okay. So I think technically you're great, but your analysis of the script and what you do with the script when it comes to acting is not there.
Okay.
Not there as in you have not dealt with so many scripts to the point that you can pick up a character and you can correctly identify, sometimes correctly can be correct. In certain scripts, they are very objective, so it can be correct of the character's goals, character's want, character's super objective, and every scene, what does this character want that pushes towards this super objective.
Okay.
Right? I don't think the analysis we have a perfect grasp on it. Right? Which is one of the things that you struggle, and you and Heather do struggle in the fall. Because when you look at a scene, you're going like, what am I doing? What am I going for? And then the next layer is putting everything together. Putting everything that okay, so I love her, but I need to show her this, but the scene is about this, but the play is about this. How do my character in this moment serve the scene that serves the play? So when you reach there, then it becomes how you interpret it. And whether I like what you have done with the character, or I don't agree what you've done with the character, but still it works.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So let me give you a very good example.
Yeah, sure. If you have the time, I don't mind. Let's go.
So an incident happened recently. I won't say which class or which teacher.
No need.
And there is a scene, and the scene is like this. The scene is, and it's an improv scene, right? So it's a scene of this. The scene is a mother has 3 children, and the mother has cancer, right? The youngest daughter has autism, like very big, like very,
Spectrum.
like, you know, very bad on the spectrum, and the second daughter is very rebellious, and the eldest daughter rebellious.
Oh, rebellious. Okay.
And the eldest daughter is very she's very tired because she has to work and she has to take care of the family and blah blah blah. So the mom is going to die.
Okay.
So because the mom is going to die, the mom hatched a plan that she's going to take the youngest daughter with her to afterlife.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And the scene is the younger daughter. She asked the mother asked the second daughter to give the youngest daughter her meds, and the younger daughter doesn't want to eat her meds. And the student who played the mother came out, and then she was being very calm and collected because, you know, she's decided that she wants to take her own life. You know?
Okay.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
And then the teacher saw that scene, and the teacher got really angry because she's like, "Why are you so calm? You should be very angry at your youngest daughter for not taking the medicine, because you're going to die. You know, if they don't know how to take care of themselves, then how are you going to, go in peace?"
Okay.
You know, and she scolded in front of me, and I was watching that scene as well. She scolded at students.
This is a practice, right? This is a practice.
Practice.
Yeah, it's a practice.
Yes,
Yeah.
and she was like, "No, you're supposed to be like this. And I had an issue with it because it's two things. First is it no longer becomes the choice of actor. It becomes you have to guess what this teacher want. Right? This becomes a right answer. For me, it's not a right answer. For me, as a teacher, I would be more interested into like, why do you make this choice? Because I think this is an interesting choice. Right? When I see the character, I feel like you should not get angry with the youngest daughter. You know why? Because you're taking her with you. There's nothing to be worried about. Who are you worried about? You are worried about the second daughter who is rebellious and if you're gone, there's nobody who's going to keep her in check. Nobody's going to take care of her. So if anyone you want to get angry at, you are supposed to get angry at that daughter, not the youngest daughter, right?
Wow.
So I want to know your rationale. Why? Why do you make this choice? Why is this action? Why do you do this? As opposed to be demanding a certain logic or interpretation.
Okay.
Right? So I think that's a good example in really having a good grasp of your actor skills, not just technically, physically, but also your ability to take a character and a script and to analyze it correctly and then utilize it effectively and interestingly.
So to sum it up, the teachable part of art is how to say this, the ability to interpret something, and I'm speaking of acting.
Yeah, and that's your art, right?
Yeah,
because that's the difference between arts and craft, right?
Art and craft.
Right, craft is a Japanese umbrella maker. He makes that umbrella to perfection. That's his craft.
Technique.
That's the highest level of his craft. But when does it becomes art? So you can do twist lah, you can do cartwheel, you can do a lot of things, you can shout very loud, you can have clarity. So your skills are great. That's your craft. But where's your art?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Wow, thank you for that answer. Okay, it's been 45 minutes. You asked me about my grades. And am I happy about it? I'm always happy with my grades.
Oh.
You know why?
Why?
Because to me, and before we wrap this up,
Yeah.
because as I really like learning, studying. That's just something that I like to have that aha moment is something that always fascinates me. And I realized that the more I think about grades, the more I want to get good grades. And the opposite, the more I don't really care about grades, I often get good grades. And most of the time I see my friends, my peers, they're so super duper worried about the grades that they're gonna get. Like I remember it's not just once or twice where when there is a period of this, my friends asking everyone, oh, what do you get? You get B? Ah, same man. Oh, I get B. And they're like, oh, you get A? Oh my God, wow, so good. I was like, I was watching this from afar. I was like, since when this really matters?
Yeah.
Because sometimes to me it's kind of taking the essence of learning away. The essence of the joy of learning, to be able to improve myself, to improve ourselves, to gain knowledge, to be a better person. And it's just banished with a letter on transcript.
Yeah, so I totally agree. I mean, in a very ideal world that in my head is we would abolish this and it would just be a pass fail. In even a more ideal world, you don't even need to have a pass and fail. Because learning should only occur when the student is willing. So if a student feels like I'm not ready to move on to level 2, the student should have the power or the agency to say, I'm going to retake this class because I'm not ready.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's very much from me, because sometimes I pity those some of my friends who deal with that more than 2 days.
It's a curse of a Singaporean,
or maybe Asian.
Yeah, maybe very much so.
Yeah,
the Americans like.
Okay, so thank you, Ray. Lastly, before that, I almost forgot. I have something for you. Open. And no, that's not a cake. Okay. Yay! It's a batik. No, that's not. No, it's a scarf. It's supposed to. And okay. Improv must say yes. Yes, you're right. It's a hat. Okay, can you open it at least? So I can show my parents, because I want my parents to bring this.
You should go. Do you know? You don't know. You don't know Onyata, right?
What was it? Some Japanese scarf as well.
So Onyata used to be a teacher in NAFA. I think Miss Sailor's batch were taught by Ashley's batch were taught by her, and she has this shop called Baju by Onyata.
Is she the Indonesian or something?
No, she's Singaporean Malay, but she takes in a lot of batik.
I know her. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so this from me to you.
Thank you.
Hope you like it. Yeah, you can wear it however you want. Sorry, I just realized your tattoo. Can I say final before I stop this recording? Is it fair to say I like anime, but I only watch Naruto and Attack on Titan?
I don't give a shit.
Okay, because I call him Sensei, guys. He has all the anime tattoos. So thank you, Ray. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for watching this. Hope it didn't waste your time.
No, at least it didn't waste my time. Thank you, Ray.
Okay.
Hope to see you again. and talk to you soon. I mean, we're gonna talk after this. Okay, bye.